Kung Fu Panda Showdown of Legendary Legends is a platform fighter based on, that's right, that one DreamWorks movie with Jack Black in it. Kung Fu Panda. It's almost good, but it gets a few core things wrong that just make it bad. To find out why, let's dive deep into the controller and play Kung Fu Panda Showdown of Legendary Legends. First things first, the roster. There is a solid amount of characters here, and the choices are solid between obvious picks like Po, Tigress, Shifu, Tai Lung, but then you have more niche ones like Mei Mei or other masters who really aren't in the movies for very long. There's even this one girl who's literally just from one of the TV shows. That is really cool. But why is there a fat furry fetus? Baby Po is a joke character. I like him, and I mean, as long as this game only has one baby, it's better than Mario Kart Wii, right? You know what, never mind. Oh, also the box art lies to you. So you see on the front here, there's characters like Kai and this kid who isn't Baby Po, and on the back we can see Master and Water White Panda. They aren't here though, as you can tell. Why? They're not unlockable. They're just paid DLC. And the funniest thing is, on top of that, the game launched with a different box art, but this one, the one I have, this is the one in copies that were released after Kung Fu Panda 3 came out, and this version doesn't even contain the DLC in any capacity. Imagine some kid having this game, having this box, and then they spend hours and hours and hours and hours trying to do different things to unlock the characters, like, I don't know, maybe beating the tournament mode with every single fighter. They're just wasting their time trying to unlock something that the game doesn't even hint you have to pay for. I mean, yeah, on the back of the box there is a part that says there is downloadable content, but it doesn't say that either it's paid or it's the characters on the front or back of the box. On top of that, if they had these characters to promote Kung Fu Panda 3, wouldn't be having them be free be a good thing? Like, as free DLC? Because that way, then people can get used to these characters, get to know them a little, and while it's not much, it still grows somewhat of an attachment to these characters before the movie even comes out, or before people have even seen the movie, and it would make them want to watch the movie even more. Not to mention that some of these characters are basically just Jade variants from the third movie, which are basically hypnotized evil versions, or just Poe's dad in armor. Okay. Nowadays, the DLC does go for under £1 for each thing, whether it be a stage or a character. That's cool. Wait a minute, you can still buy the DLC but not the actual game itself? Why is the game delisted then? Last thing when it comes down to the DLC characters, before I move on from that, Kai has so much space on the box taken up by him and his horns, so it is really weird that you have to pay for him and the game doesn't tell you that. It's also kind of weird Mantis and Viper aren't playable. I mean, they're in the game, they're just summon items. I mean, if you think they're too small, just have them as a 2-in-1 role. Just something, so then all the characters are playable. I should mention I don't have footage of the summon item because I only play with items off because I am a competitive player of this game. That is a joke. I do not play this game competitively because no one plays this game competitively. I just don't want to play with items on. With that said, if you haven't got the max rank on this game's ranked, then you're just not a true gamer. Sorry, I don't make the rules. Oh yeah, also, the servers are still up. You can still play this game online. Of course it's dead, but I have to ask, you can pay for the DLC, you can play online, but then the game is still delisted. I mean, this isn't the only game that does that. Fucking Evil Dead the game also has this exact same issue. But honestly, I'm glad I'm not playing Evil Dead the game because that is just way worse than this game. As for this game's stages, they are pretty good overall, but none of them really are anything too special. They're just solid maps that fit the universe. Speaking of visuals, the game is pretty good to look at too, but overall I'd say the game looks pretty decent. I mean, the music is also really solid, although it probably does just reuse music from the movies. But hey, in a fighting game, the gameplay is the focus, and if I can't enjoy the gameplay, why does any of that matter? You know, why does the stages matter, the good roster matter, the music matter, the visuals matter? So how is the gameplay? I mean, it's not the worst game I've ever played, or the worst platform fighter really. I mean, Multiversus is just beyond awful. You can't get worse than that. As your character of choice, you are able to fight one another in what is admittedly a decent enough variety of modes. The issue is, well, there's a few issues. Let's start with something easy to poke fun at first. If you want any challenge, you need to crank the difficulty all the way up to the hardest possible difficulty. If you don't, it's just too easy. Almost like this is a fighting game made for children or something. Weird. That aside though, the hardest difficulty isn't too challenging. Yeah, there is some matches where I did lose. But just look at this clip here where I bully this middle-aged fat woman. And look at her. What can she do? She can do nothing to fight back. I'm beating this woman and she's doing nothing. This is the hardest difficulty, everyone. Have fun. Same for this clip here, where as Monkey, I fully healed while the other two characters fought each other. And they just ignored me. They were like, okay, heal. Do your thing, bro. Oh, also, this game kind of fumbles how the percentage meter works. You see in other fighting games, well, platform fighting games like Smash Brothers or Nickelodeon or even Brawlhalla, which has Kung Fu Panda characters, by the way, they have your damage go up, up, up as things go on. Here, though, it goes down, down, down. And the issue with that is it's not a health bar. When it runs out, you don't die. That's just as much damage as you can get for you to be easier to launch. It's not a lot different from Smash or Brawlhalla or whatever, but it's just weird because ain't the whole point that you build up more and more damage to make it easier and easier to kill your opponent? Also, the way it's presented, you would think it's a health bar. You just punch each other till someone runs out, bang, you're dead. Especially someone who isn't really as familiar to fighting games or platform fighters. Like, they'll see this and think, okay, yeah, that goes down, you're dead, that's it. Or hell, someone who is more versed in normal fighting games and not platform fighters will also think that. They'll just think, okay, that's Poe, he has this much health, get rid of it, he's dead, good. But that's not how it works. And it's just really confusing and honestly, it's just miscommunication to the player. My main issue with this game, though, it has to be the jagged lack of flow to your movements, how slow everything feels. You can't really combo together very well. Also, I realised on this one map here that you can't cancel out attacks, so in this clip, I needed to jump off of this bridge or I would die, but because I was doing an attack animation, the game wouldn't let me. So yeah, the game just doesn't let you react to things. There is also your awesome meter, which is actually pretty awesome. It's just a simpler stripped down take on the super move bar from PlayStation All-Stars, which Smash Brothers also copied for Ultimate in the exact same way. It's not bad here, and it's not bad in Ultimate. It's great in both. I like the fact that you have this here because in any game, whether it be platform fighters or Mortal Kombat or any fighting game, or hell, even Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, I love the character-specific moves. I think they make the characters stand out so much more. And obviously it's an obvious thing to say that, but it's still something worth bringing up. And of course this ultimate attack is the most unique and creative out of all the moves that these characters will have. It's like taking Mortal Kombat, for example, the fatalities, or taking Injustice 2 and looking at the super moves. Okay, sure, they're not the moves you're gonna be able to use the most, but in terms of showing off the character, these are obviously the best ways you can do that. And the developers did a good job here. There is a few modes, like one where you have to take control over a small flagged area for the longest for points, keep this crown for the longest, and there's this pretty meh one as well where you have to fight for dumplings, and it's a reference to the scene from the first movie where Poe and Shifu will fight for a dumpling. But why didn't they make the crown mode this, as you're all fighting over one object? Clear reference they just didn't do for some reason. And that just summarizes how I feel in this game. There's just so much opportunity for awesomeness, for a legendary experience. But the game just fumbles it up just enough for it to no longer be good. It's a shame because think of a cactus, right? Get rid of all the pricks, you got something there, something kind of nice looking, but this game is that cactus. It could be good, but then you got all these awful little pricks that you can't really say you love it. And on top of that, if any DreamWorks franchise deserved a fighting game, Kung Fu Panda, that made the most sense. Shrek in second. They got Super Slam, which was also trash. I'll be honest, that is a trash game. I don't know if I'll do a video on it because I just don't know if I have enough to say about it. It is so mind-numbingly simple. But hey, I mean, if you guys want to see it, say in the comments, yes, cover Super Slam. Also, funnily enough, I'm wearing Shrek clothes while recording this. That's hilarious. Overall, I definitely recommend not picking up a controller and playing Kung Fu Panda Showdown of Legendary Legends. Hey guys, remember that if we end 2025 with 350 subscribers, I will do an hour-long video. What will I do an hour-long video on? I still do not know, don't ask.